We live, man. Let me see. Let me get a mic check.
I can you hear me? Mic check, mic check.
Live, man. All right, perfect, man. What's up, everybody in the Dispatch Masters world? If you're new here, I'm Calais Poteet, one of the founders of the Dispatch Masters Facebook group. If you don't know who I am, started the trucking journey about 4 years ago. I know we have a lot of new members. We built this community, the culture of this community based on education and resources. So I wanted to bring a good friend of mine, somebody I consider like a big brother, a coach in the financial literacy space. He has helped me a whole lot, especially when I was just getting started in trucking. He didn't probably even know it at the time, but Mr. Elgen McFerren. And he's from, I believe, Memphis, Tennessee, correct?
Memphis, Tennessee, M-Town.
Tennessee, man. And I think you relocated to Houston. Are you still in Houston at the moment?
Yeah, I am.
Still in Houston, man. Cool. So, man, just tell the people a little bit about, how you got started in financial literacy, how you came about, getting your credit repaired and building business credit. How did that journey kind of start off for you?
Well, it actually started from a financial difficulty myself. When I first moved to Houston in 2016, of course, I was a speaker, one of the top educators in the barber industry. I had an 811 credit score. I had zero debt. I had cash put up. And so the moment I moved to Houston, see, anytime you have a goal, adversity begins to hit, not necessarily to destroy you, but to qualify you for the blessing that you desire to receive. So now I'm in Houston, I go through a divorce. So gradually my cash started to deplete. Now, I'm not knowing that at the time with me having an 811 credit score, I had the power to access up to $200,000 that I could liquidate and leverage to my benefit. But just because I had an 811 credit score didn't mean I understood the power of the efficiency of it. I just paid my bills on time. I just stood on my word. So after I went through that, I had to go down, had to come back up, just grinding the hard way, as they say, out of the mud per se. So later, as I'm trying to reestablish myself because I had the cash now, because I came back up, but I still couldn't qualify for certain things. You can have $200,000 in cash to get denied for an apartment complex, just a $800 apartment because you don't have the appropriate credit score. So now I said, in order for me to go to the next phase, I have to understand credit and financial literacy. So I embark upon multiple programs like Recession Proof through Marcus Barney, Real Roundtree, Bobby Richardson. I also did got board certified as a credit consultant. So once I did these particular things, I started to implement it for myself, got my credit score back up to the eights, and then I started to help my friends, my family, and my clients as being a barber. And so once I did that, I started to realize, man, I got me something because of the amount of testimonials I was getting and people being able to modify their condition and start to get the revenue they need and get the funds they need to scale and expand and grow their own business. And so I kind of got thrown into this because when I was doing barbering, I transitioned to a motivational speaker. And even though I like empowering people, I didn't feel like that was enough. I was like, you got them so hyped, they ready to run through a wall. You got them so motivated, they feel like they shift their situation. But now, what tangible tools do they have to implement their vision and their goals? Because it's the vision got to be followed by the venture. It's not enough to just stare up the steps. You got to step up the stairs. So now I had financial literacy to attach to my motivational speaking. So now I can give the people motivation and implementation. So be honest with you, I thought one thing was my destination, but really God gave that my transportation is my destination. So now I can help people on multiple levels. So that's what I aspire to do.
100%, man. And you are known for like your dynamic seminars and speaking. Um, you know, the seminars that challenge people to kind of reflect, strategize, and execute. How do you think this approach kind of applies specifically to entrepreneurs in the trucking industry?
What dealing with motivation or financial literacy?
Well, just the challenges people have when it comes to actually reflecting, strategizing, and executing, maybe on ideas or just things that they know they should do but don't do.
This is the thing, right? When it's pertaining to trucking, we got to understand that it's an industry that's going to have multiple changes. So we know that some things won't change, but the only thing that will change is change. So that's something we have to be dependent on if we attempted to accomplish our adversity or our opportunity, because there is no opportunity without what? Opposition. But the biggest opposition we face is ourselves, how we view things. It be our perspective of our circumstances and our perception of ourselves while we in those circumstances. So the key word is circumstances. And guess what? Circumstances are circumstantial, meaning it's only based on certain conditions. So circumstance come from the word circumference, meaning in a circular fashion. So if I'm tired of those particular circumstances, then I must be willing to step outside of this circle. So we got to shift our mind, because when our mindset shift, our birds will begin to live.
That's powerful. I love that, man. You also often talk about like the importance of a growth mindset. Why is that particularly crucial for business owners, like that growth mindset specifically?
Because everything you do in life is going to require you to either grow into some or to grow out of some. I got to grow into my calling. I got to grow into the person that's worthy of the blessings that I request. I got to grow into the person that's worthy of the business, the clientele, the professionalism, or I got to grow out of my negative ways that are detrimental or self-sabotage. See, we need to give ourselves a round of applause, a clap on the back, and a cookie, for lack of better words, because we are successful. Literally, we're successful. We are successful to the extent of everything we are today, we've deserved. We made it. Now, the contradiction of this statement is, in order to get to the next stage and phase of life, we got to grow out of something, grow into something. So until we grow, man, we're going to be slow to manifest the things that we wish it, because riches aren't attracted by wishes. They're attracted by work and what you're worth.
100%. Definitely agree with that. Let's tap into, that's powerful, man. That got me thinking. Let's talk about something that I'm pretty sure is on every trucking entrepreneur's mind, finances. I believe like business is really just psychology and numbers at the end of the day. A lot of people don't like to do their numbers, track their metrics, look at the numbers, look at the finance. You've been in rooms with multimillionaires who shared their knowledge on credit. How can our members leverage this to grow their businesses? How can they use credit to grow and build and scale out their businesses inside of transportation and trucking?
Man, credit is powerful, bro, because if you didn't come from money, you didn't come from wealth, then credit is the quickest way to be able to bridge that gap. Because all the members is on this line right now, they have a better opportunity to get approved for $40,000 to $50,000 than they do actually save. You can have $0 in your account. You can be working for $14, $15, $12 an hour, but have the appropriate credit score with all the adequate data points and get approved for more than what your annual salary is. All depends on how you manipulate the paperwork based on truth and facts and position. What I mean by that is, we talk that, hey, man, you can get business credit with your EIN, your LIC, LLC alone. That's fraudulent, man. See, business credit and corporate credit are two different things. Corporate credit is where your business credit is attached to your EIN alone, right? And typically you got to have like 2 years in standing to be able to function that particular way. However, business credit is where they give you access to the business world, business credit card, business loan, lines of credit through your personal credit, as they call it, PG. So there's no way around getting business credit without getting your personal affairs in order. That's just like, if I do business with you, I'm doing business with your business, but through the person. So if I don't trust, like, and know the person, then I can't do business with that individual. So what they do is, just say you have a 680 credit score. Honestly, you can get anything with a 680 and above credit score with all the proper data points. So for those who listening, if you don't have a 680 credit score right now, I can tell you 1 of 3 things that exist without even looking at your report. You had a late payment pop up within the last 24 months. You had a collection hit your account within the last 18 months, or your credit usage or the utilization is excessively too high. See, we've been taught a condition to perceive it as being 30%. But who taught us that? The people that's going to give us the money. So stipulations on to it. However, the bank and the financial institutions, they would like to see under 10% utilization. That's one of the data points. And what I mean by data points is the banks and the computer system that they incorporated to giving you the loans, right? They already got a pre-structure of what they approve you for with no documentation required. So we know what they're looking for going into the game, then we just position our report that way. So I'm going to give y'all some tangibles right now because I don't like just talking. I like giving y'all tools y'all can use, man. Do I have permission to do so, bro?
Go for it.
So this is the data points they look for. They want to see 100% payment history. They want to see under 10% utilization. They want to see zero derogatories, meaning no delinquencies, no collections, no bankruptcies, which is that's easy. There's half of this stuff is against the law and illegal according to the not uniform commercial code, according to the consumer law. They want to see 4 to 5 years credit age. They want to see 10 to 12 positive accounts, mostly primary. Now, when I say primary, that means accounts that are attached to your name, your address, and your social, not an AU, an authorized user account, or also known as a trade line. And then they want to see 0 to 3 increase per bureau. Now, if you got these things in place, instant approval, no documentation required. So from the business side, if your personal credit is on point, what they do is they'll peep into your personal credit, what they call personal guarantee. They're going to allow you access to the business credit world, and they're going to give you an inquiry. But here's the benefit, right? Business credit isn't attached or doesn't reflect to your personal credit. So once they peep into it and let you into the business world through seeing who you are as a person, you wait about 24 hours. You contact I ain't gonna say bureaus because bureaus don't exist. It's a whole different term. The legal term is consumer report agency. And they are not pertaining to the bureau because the moment we say bureau, we think about the FBI of the government. They are private institutions that are public traded. And I can show you all this documentation through the commercial consumer laws. However, once they peep into your personal situation and they allow you in, you call them and you say, hey, I noticed that there's an inaccuracy on my report. You didn't lie. You just said you noticed an inaccuracy on that report. Do you guys mind doing an investigation? I see an inquiry of some sort on it I'm not familiar with. They're going to go on your report. They're going to say, hold on one second, sir. They're going to put it up. They're going to see that the inquiry isn't attached to an account. Because remember, business and personal don't commingle. They just use it to see who you are so they can see what you do. So once they see that there's no inquiry attached to your person, to that account, they're going to delete the inquiry from your program. So now you into the business world. And this is why it's sufficient to have your personal credit up to par, because whatever you have on your personal side, they typically 3x that on your business side. So you got personal cards at 10 bands, 20 bands. They're going to give you 20, 40 bands on the business side. And they don't care anything about the utilization. Utilization only exists on your personal side. They want you to max the cards out because business it turns back with a ROI, return on investment. Personal is just consumerism. But even if you don't have the business aspect, I can show you guys how to liquidate your personal credit to give you creative finances, to give yourself a loan so you can then fund your business while you build out your business credit. So we talk about business credit. Man, can I go into it, bro? I don't want to. I just love giving, bro. So I'm gonna stop for a second.
I had a question real quick, and if where you guys tuning in from? We'd love to know where you guys are from. If you don't have a notebook and a pen, I definitely would grab one, pull it out, take some notes, and just drop some fire emojis for Elgen, man. He's definitely gonna crush it. He got a lot of juice he's gonna give you guys tonight. But what about the person that's just up to their ears in debt right now? Like, what should they do? And I know you went a lot into building, but like if you just feel overwhelmed and you feel stuck with your finances on the credit side, should you continue to just have them do the investigations, or is there an alternative route, or how should they be thinking through this process?
If they in debt?
Yeah, let's say they went and bought a truck because a lot of trucks were they bought trucks that were, used to be $40,000 and they probably paid 70 for them, right? Business operations wasn't really the best model for them, so they probably got into a bind. What should they do at that point as far as trying to at least maybe repair or continue to build credit? Like, what's their next steps?
Well, I'm not too familiar with the trucking per se, but I can tell them how to maneuver out of certain difficulties. So if they have it on their report and you saying that the truck isn't functional right now, they can't operate it, it's just sitting still.
Yeah, maybe they can't afford to pay it, or they haven't paid it, in a couple months or something like that, or they just having some financial issues, right? Um,
Well, I'm going to be 100% transparent, man. Sometimes
hmm,
the truth is something that we don't want to hear. So in some cases, you got to give up to go up. So if it's a real burden to you to the point where you can't function for your family, anything on your credit report can be repaired and can get fixed. It's not like the end all be all. So just say, for instance, if you had something on your report that you had a high utilization, is making your credit score super low. Well, you can get a line of credit. If you get a line of credit, it decrease your debt to income ratio and it decrease your utilization. So now you're available to get other credit that you can liquidate into cash and leverage that other situation. So I know they probably asking, well, how do I get a line of credit if my credit is bad? Man, you got tomoboost.com. So tomoboost.com, they allow you to get a line of credit. They used to give you a tangible credit card that was like a charge card, but they switched their business model. So they got packages for $9, packages for $49, packages for $99. So their $99 package, they allow you to get a line of credit up to $30,000. So just say, for instance, if your utilization is excessively high on your report and it's showing 70%, if you pay that and you get the $30,000 line of credit, you're not going to get the tangible funds. They just report it as a credit building account. So once it hits your report, that's going to automatically lower your utilization. Now you're in a position to get other funding. And I can show you guys how to get funding, how to leverage the credit into cash through a process we call manufactured spending, and then how to hide your utilization so they can't see the money, they can't see the expense, they can't see what you use. And now you got time and leniency to be able to claw yourself out your situation through a strategy. Because the reason why we in most predicaments is literally through two things, either lack of knowledge or laziness. Our unwillingness to find a mentor, to find a coach, to make an investment because we think things cost. It don't cost, it pays. It comes back with a multiple reward. I'm gonna tell you what costs though, not doing nothing.
nah, that's fantastic advice, man. And I'm kind of under the impression that a lot of trucking company owners are lacking like massive visibility on their trucks, right? I like to say that majority of people know the name of the local donut shop, but not the name of the local trucking companies. And it's pretty wild because every other industry utilizes modern day marketing techniques for the businesses except trucking entrepreneurs, for the most part. But after spending maybe $50,000, $100,000 on a truck, the only people that know that truck even exists is the number of maybe the freight brokers that they can call that day from the low board. So I want to jump a little bit into business credit right now, and then maybe we can get into maybe corporate credit if we got time. But how about using business credit right now to increase visibility for businesses? How do you, what's your take on that?
Man, because with the business credit, well, with credit in general, because remember, it's difficult to get business credit without your personal credit unless it's corporate credit. And meaning that you've been established a certain way for over 2 years, where now they function on your EIN alone. Other than that, man, you got to get your personal affairs in order to have your business affairs in order. So with that being said, you can use those credit cards, you can use them for ads. You can use them for a coach, someone that know how to get out of the situation through proper solutions, because we cannot do it on our own. That's you can educate yourself, because again, at the end of the day, it's going to be based on education, not what we're doing now. This is education. This is edification, or the lack of the willingness to do so. We continue to complain about a problem. But here's the thing about complain. When you complain, you become plain, meaning that you're ordinary. So how can you attempt to do something extraordinary if you have a complacent or typical mindset. Or we blame. Man, I shouldn't have got the truck, or I should have hold up, or I should have. No, when you blame, you become lame. And lame is a disability that robs us of our ability. So sometimes we move too fast or we move without taking a calculated risk. We didn't take all our information. We didn't have the proper mentor, the proper coach. So now we're in a situation. But this is the thing about situations. Hard trials are necessary to establish truth. So now all this is doing is exposing your areas for improvement. Man, I don't know this. Man, I don't know that. Not put you in a position where you want to give up, or you feel bad, or you feel like, man, I'm about to lose everything. No, that's impossible. See, it say that all things work for the good for those who believe and are called for its purpose. But we should try to look at the things that are beneficial. It said all things. So the negativity, the opposition, the doubt, the fear, all those elements are leading you to create the ingredients for the life that you want if you're willing to do the things you don't want to do, which is self-discipline. I'm making sense, bro?
100%, man. And as solopreneurs as well, a lot of trucking owners too, they balance everything from the finance department, right? Human resources, operations, administration, and most likely, they're doing all the driving as well. What about using the operational capital from funding to bring on talent and building a team? Do you feel like it's building a team is kind of necessary as a company owner?
Most definitely, man. You don't go as far as your dream, you go as far as your team.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely have a team no matter what company you are. You got to have systems in place. So system breakdown to acronym. Some may have heard it, some may have not. But system just simply means save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. So when you got these systems in place and your operating procedures structured properly, then it helps you go further and go longer. So I'm not familiar with all the terminology and the vernacular of the trucking industry. What I am familiar with is overcoming adversity and also using credit to leverage to get out your situation. So if you know what your operating procedures is and how to function with the trucking industry, and all you need is funding, then credit is the appropriate way to be able to get you funded. No ifs and buts about it. And it's simple. So somebody may have like a 580 credit score right now. Like, damn, man, my credit bad. But really, they got all the data points, their utilization is just too high. So if they lower their utilization to under 10%, that's going to shoot their score to about 80 to 100 points. Then also, you got people that may be renting right now. They're like, damn, I've been renting an apartment for like 4 years, man. I've been renting a home for like 4 years. Cool. So what you're going to do is you go to rentalkarma.com. Rental Karma, what they do is they allow you to report your rental payments to the credit bureaus. So all they're going to do is ask you for some simple information. Who do you rent from? Then they're going to reach out to that individual and they're going to say, hey, do you know such and such and such? Have they been renting from you? What's their amount? Have they been on time? Those 4 questions they're going to put into their computations. Is going to report to the credit bureaus within 7 days, and your score can go up anywhere between 75 to 100 points. So them 2 things I just told you can get somebody out of 580 straight up to a 7 or to an 8 so they can start to get funded. You see what I'm saying? So now you're like, man, I just need 10,000. I need 20,000. Well, you can run plays. You may need 20,000 for a truck situation, but you got 10,000 on the car you got to prove of. So now, sometimes, in order to get to the destination, you got to have the right transportation. So now you can take that $10,000 credit card, you can liquidate it, get the cash off of it, and then you can find your property may be appraised for 17,000, but they want 10. So use the cash to be able to get the property. You snatch the equity out the property. You pay the car back off. You got the full balance of 10,000, 7,000 in your pocket, and you got a free piece of property you can leverage. Now you're in a stronger position to be able to use the funds for your operating procedures. And I know they're like, well, how do I get the cash out the car? Yeah, they're gonna charge me cash advance. They're gonna charge me exorbitant interest. Look, man, this is what you can do. Number one, if y'all go to any mall, I don't care what mall it is, in whatever country it is, or whatever state it is, All you have to do is they got it's called Simon. You go to the mall, you'll see in the middle mall they have those gift cards. You're gonna see Simon cards, Simon gift cards. Those the management companies that actually own their mall. So Simon gift cards allow you to fund that prepaid debit card or that gift card up to $10,000 per day with the credit card, and it give you a PIN number. So now you can fund your credit, that card, that gift card with the credit card. And once you fund it with the credit card, then you go to like HEB. If you're in Texas, you go to Kroger's or anywhere with money orders, and then purchase the money orders with that particular gift card as long as it has a PIN number. And then you make them deposit the PIN number, and now you get cash. Another play is you can go to companies like Dick's Sporting Goods, or you can go to Neiman and Marcus and get high ticket items, a $5,000 shirt or bag. And the card you may tell them it may be $5,000. So you go and Dick's Sporting Goods, get some golf clubs or something. Neiman Marcus, get you a Gucci bag or something real quick. It's $5,000. You go to the counter and say, so how do you like to pay? Oh, I'm gonna pay with credit. Excuse me, you mind if I split this transaction? Oh, no problem, sir. Go ahead. Enter your first card. So you put $4,900 on your credit card. Then enter your next card for me, sir. The next card, you enter the $100 with your debit card. You can walk around the mall, a few minutes, come back, man. Look, bro, like you're on the phone or something. My wife tripping. I should have get. Man, I need to get a refund. Or you come back the next day, go to a different store. You get a refund, and they'll say, insert the card you use. You insert the debit card, and now they're going to refund the total amount of the transaction to your debit card. Now you liquidate it without a high interest rate, without a cash advance fee, and now you got cash to play with. But this is the thing. It's not got cash to play with, but it's going to show on my credit report. My utilization going to be high. They only pull your utilization one day a month. So now you look on your bank statement, you say, your credit card statement, you say, it's 2 dates on there. You got your open date and your closing date, and then you got, your closing date or your statement date, and then you got your payment date or your due date. So your statement date is going to be on there. So if it's the 14th, then you wait to the 15th and you put in transaction. Now you got 30 days to be able to play. So say for instance, you got 2 cards. If you got 2 cards, both got a value of $5,000 apiece. You can switch your dates 2 times a year. So you put one 14 day on the 14th, the other one you do 14 days apart. I hope y'all write this game down. I really do. But you 14 days apart, because this gets you out of somebody is stressing right now and sitting on this situation, they can change their life. So please write this down. So you change your card to 14 days apart. One say 14, the other card may have a 28, right? So you run the play with it, get the 5,000 off, and go and get out your trucking situation. Get the 10 off, whatever you need to do, get out their trucking situation. And then this date, the 14th, and then before this one hit, you do the same thing with this card, but you're using the other card just to hide the utilization for the other. Am I making sense? So you got this $5,000 off, this $5,000 in the game. It's working because typically this is our problem as business owners. If we get a loan, before we get the opportunity to flip the money, make some off the money, we got to make a payment in 30 days. Damn, I ain't got a chance to do nothing, and I got interest on it. But with this strategy, you're able to give yourself a loan and you don't have no payment at all, long as you hide the utilization with the other card. So you got 5,000 here, use the other 5 to put back on there on the 14th to hide the utilization. Then when it's doing on the 28th, you put it back on the 28th. You constantly hide it. While the 5,000 is the game. Now, this is the benefit of that. Every time you use that card, you move the money, pay it back. You move the money, pay it back. You're getting reward points. You're getting cash back rewards. For instance, right? Discover do 5% cash back reward. So if you done maneuver 10,000 through that card, that's $500 back a month. For doing the stuff you normally do. Paying rent, buying gas, buying food. But here's a kicker again, man. They match you dollar for dollar the first year. So now you get a free $1,000, $12,000 a year. Just for using your credit card. An extra $1,000 for using your credit card. And you just moving the same money back and forth, but they don't know. And every time you move the money, they see that I can't charge him interest because he beat the statement date. However, I do see the man maxed out the car for 5, paid it back the same month. Maxed out the car for 5, paid it back the same month. So even though it was 5,000, he did that 3 times within the same month, which showed he can manage $15,000. So now you apply for an increase every 91 days or every 3 business cycles. So now you go within the 91 days and you apply for an increase. Now they saw you use 15,000. They're going to give you at least that same 15 or 20. Now you run the same play you're doing with the 5. And so you currently increasing your score. You currently getting reward points. You currently increasing your limit, all by using your mind and manipulating the system in a way that's beneficial to you and stop being devoured by the system. See, we have to stop looking at credit as consumerism. We have to look at it as our investment. I'm sorry, I'm slow down. I love him. I hope I get it, man.
And I feel like a lot of people are gonna be watching this replay and taking some notes. We do got a couple questions, man. Someone said, when you buy assets, should you establish this under a holding parent company?
Now I really don't know too much about that particular question. I know I can answer things pertaining to the LLCs and the corporations and things of that nature, but I'm not going to fake or flaws. It's kind of beyond my level of information at this moment.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, you talk a lot about, advantage, adversity, man. I think this is a huge topic because, how can our members, turn their challenges into opportunities?
Can I be straightforward?
Absolutely.
Man, they got to stop bullshit. And I'm finna tell you why I say that, man. It's this story about this turkey and this bull, right? So the turkey and the bull, they were sitting under the tree, and they were chatting, having great conversation. But the topic of the discussion was about how to achieve their goals. So the bull, he had a typical goal. He just wanted to be in the rodeo. That's average for a bull. But the turkey, his goals were astronomical and insane. The man wanted to fly. Now, we know that it's almost genetically impossible for a turkey to fly with their big old body and little wings. He's not aerodynamically designed to do so, right? But that was his goal, just like you. A lot of people think that we're not designed, or that what we try and do, that our goals that we desire is impossible. We want to find a way to pull it off, just like this turkey. So the bull said, look, man, I'm going to help you with your goal, but check this out. It's going to require you to eat a little bit of my dog, my boo-boo, for lack of better words. The turkey was offended. He said, yo, boo-boo? Man, I'm not finna eat your turds. Are you insane? The bull said, look, man, I'm not trying to be offensive, but it's packed with a lot of nutrients and a lot of nutrition that you need to help give you the energy so you can flap those little bit of wings with that big old body. So the turkey was like, man, he crazy. But he was so ambitious, he considered it. So he waited till the bull wasn't looking, the bull wasn't watching. He scooped a little bit of that dog. He put it in his mouth and he ate it, man. So the moment he started eating it, his wings get to flapping, his legs get to kicking, his wings get to flapping, and all of a sudden, bam, he flew. He made it to the first branch of the tree. He was like, woo-wee, I like this. He go home, he do it again. Second branch of the tree, third branch of the tree. So before you know it, the man was the top of the tree. He achieved his goal. He's rejoicing and celebrating. The moment he got to the top, he was spotted by a hunter and gunned down. Killed dead. You know why? Because see, that bullshit to get you to the top, but it's not going to keep you there. So a lot of times we in certain places of position is because they were BSing unconsciously. See, there's nothing wrong with adversity, but how can we utilize adversity to the extent where it can empower us and not devour us? We looking at things the wrong way. That's our strength. That's like spinach to Popeye. But we have to make some adjustment because we can't solve our problem with the same level of thinking and creating. It's going to be very arduous and difficult for us to be able to receive new blessings with old structure. How? We got to make change. Those who are willing to make changes, they can accomplish anything. Those who can't make the necessary changes won't be able to accomplish nothing. So the answer that we're looking for is really based on us making some adjustments. And certain people we got to cut off and snip them, circumcise our circumstances. In certain thought processes, we got to abort, we got to alleviate, we got to remove. That's all it is, man.
What do you think
Put
about
our
what do you think about people that just kind of always have a negative mindset? Like, I know that there's the law of polarity and you have positivity, and you gotta kind of have that balance and of course that harmony. But what is it about the mindset that usually speaks more negative than most?
to be based on their how they view things. And I want to tell you this, right? We talk about the law of polarity, we talk about the law of attraction, right? So just like the law of attraction to speak the things that you want into existence, well, negative thinking is also a form of a law of attraction. That's why Apostle Paul in the Bible, he said, the things I fear most have came upon me. Man, I remember that every situation that I benefited in is because I thought myself into it. Also, equal accountability and responsibility. There has been situations that has been negative in my life, and I thought myself into that as well. Like constantly thinking things were gonna happen before they happen, and they end up happening. See, 87% of our thoughts are negative. That's something we got to take in consideration. Also, 97% of the things we worry about never even happen, man. Think about it. Half of the stuff you worry about never even happened. But what you energize will crystallize. What you energize will realize. So you constantly feed it, of course it's gonna grow. Man, what I'm gonna do with this truck? I'm gonna lose the truck. While you spending energy about how you're gonna lose the truck, let's spend that energy in trying to research and find someone that can help us keep the truck. I'm making sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, I just wanted to ask that real quick. I feel like our actions are truly dictated by the thoughts that we have. So yeah, I wanted to get some clarity around that, man. But wow, Elgin, this has definitely been incredibly insightful. Any final words for the community?
Man, I want to tell them, you guys, we talked about credit, we talked about manufacturer spending, and it's a lot of things that we cannot discuss right now at this particular moment. But I want to tell you guys, if you want to learn more, then drop your information in the chat real quick. Drop your information in the messenger board. I'm going to reach out to you, and I'm going to give you as much game as I can through a complimentary. Matter of fact, everybody on this call, even the replay, I'm going to give you a complimentary coaching session. So we can be able to help you analyze and identify what you need to do. I'm not going to try to upsell or upcharge you anything. I'm not going to try. This is literally strictly for your benefit and the results you need. So that's one thing. Second, I want to leave them with this. The reason why we're not where we want to be is because we haven't made the decision. See, we have choices. Choices is give us options. I may do this, I may do that. But the decision means it comes from the root day. Day and decision come from the root word mean from. Sage come from sejan, meaning to cut from. So the moment I make a decision, I cut off every other option. So you have to decide you're going to succeed with the trucking industry. You have to decide you're going to be a millionaire. It's probable and possible. But a possibility is based on you having the eligibility to achieve something, or a probability is based on the percentage that you could achieve it based on your effort and your qualifications. So versus praying and soliciting a blessing, let's try to qualify for our blessing by our belief, by our work, and by our effort. And let's make the decision today that we're going to get out of debt. Let's make the decision today we'll be better fathers, we'll be better mothers, we'll be better business person. Because if you don't get your personal life together, your business life will never be together. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. We don't want to be honest with ourselves, but the reason why we're dealing with certain situations in our professionalism in our trucking game is because we're dealing with these same situations in our personal life, and it just meshed over. That's all it is, man.
100%. Thank you so much, Elgin. If you're watching live or if you're watching the replay and you are going through a situation where your credit is a little funny, Maybe you want to get in a situation where you start to build business credit. Maybe you don't want to bootstrap your business. That was something I did when I got into the trucking industry. Was I came all cash, right? So trucking is definitely a very cash intensive industry, very expensive industry. So you definitely want to have some reserves. You definitely want to have some operational capital on the side, so that way you won't find yourself in such of a financial bind, a stressful experience. So definitely something to think about. So if you want to kind of learn how to get out of the situation that you're in as far as your credit is concerned, it's something that is super important. So if you want to drop the word credit in the comment section, perfectly fine. Elgin will reach out to you. If you want to directly send him a message, then do so. Um, and yeah, man, thanks again, Elgin. I really appreciate you coming on, man. It's definitely a pleasure and a treat every time we speak. Always an inspiration every time, I hear the words that you have to share. So it's only right that, I share these words and inspiration with my community, because they were a huge part in my growth. So a lot of people aren't ready for growth, and that's 100% okay. But we want to take the positive out of everything that we do and make sure that we continue to learn. Because if you're not getting the education out of everything that we do, and yeah, if you're not getting the education, you could have been anywhere scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok reels, watching the latest video of the two cats fighting in the corner. But tonight you were on here actually getting some information that might change the trajectory of not only your personal life, but your business. So again, Elgin, thank you. And, it's been a blessing. Any last words at all before we hop off?
Man, I said what I think what I needed to say. I just hope that if it was somebody that really need to hear these words, that it really resonated, and if you really need some assistance, man, just feel free to reach out, because a lot of us magnify our uh, hardship because we don't reach out. Because anything you think about continuously, it expands and grows, be it positive or negative. So, man, hopefully, if I gave some value, put some values in the chat. If you feel like I can, because I want to come with gifts and I want to serve. So, bro, I hope you feel like I gave a lot of value as well. And that's it, man.
Yeah, I already knew you were gonna over deliver for the community. That's kind of why I wanted you on here today. I've been speaking to a lot of people, and they're just in a situation where credit might be not so good, right? And growing a business from ground zero is one of the most difficult things that you could possibly do. So, leveraging credit, if you're a first time business owner, after the cash that I came into the industry with, I definitely leveraged as much credit as I possibly could to even get here. So that's something to think about. Again, Elgin, thank you.
All right,
And
thank you, man.
signing off, man. Appreciate you.
Okay, peace.